Okay, so let me go over this again. The pure moral martial art principles. This is key. This is the principle of pure moral martial art principles. Pure can be seen as a play on words for poor, A, and also the poor A. Right? Even though I'm a brain surgeon son, I live with my parents, I don't have that much money in my bank account, etc. I'm poor. Okay, they don't let me assimilate to the upper classes, and the races that have done this have utterly disgraced themselves, as there is no excuse for putting race over universal principle. So let's look at the word horus. Hor is said to be a word meaning something to the effect of face. Okay, face us. It's like the spirit that animates your face. Face us, right? To also face somebody with that spirit. Okay, this is key because the spirit of righteousness has sensitivity to injustice. It doesn't want to be diluted, and it can't be diluted. God is this righteous force that if you're doing the wrong thing, he leaves. If there's no availability, right? If everyone is an ill-gotten life form on the planet, then you cannot be redeemed. No one can get the true spirit of God. They shouldn't be alive. And this is one of my main points: the principle of a worthy death and the principles of no ill-gotten gains. I'm not sure if I've gotten into that one yet, but that's what I have. Okay, no ill-gotten gains. So, risking, rise, king. Okay, danger. Okay, day and gear. When you're truly a man of God, you'll be hated by everyone because of God. Matthew 10:22. You'll be hated by everyone because of me, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. Okay, if you stand firm for evil and you go the long course, you will be divas, a word meaning devil, meaning harlot, and there were some kind of goddesses in Hindu culture. All right. So, who is this warrior? First of all, he's a brilliant moral warrior, okay, with surgical strikes. Surge, like a surge of spirit, a surge of energy. Surgical, okay. Surge, I see, lay, surge, I call, strikes. A play on words for Ra-Ka and Ra-Kat. The top martial arts path is obviously a transcendent path. I've gone over these words before. Overcome, matchless, incomparable, superior. These are the synonyms. Unequaled, unrivaled, supreme, ascendant, spiritual, divine, heavenly, exalted, otherworldly. Okay? Transcendent. You don't compare these sorts of words to the average American martial artist who goes to the Olympics or something with a black belt who wins some insignificant tournament like the Olympics or something. These things mean little to nothing to a real warrior. They are propaganda conformist sports. Sports has a T in it for a reason. The T is the feminine suffix. Look up the word bat. They should still say it in Wikipedia, for example, where bat is ba with the feminine suffix T, making you a crazy old bat or something if you go to channel the T, right? If you include the T, you're an idiot. You are not in the spirit of God. They are not compatible. And this is the problem with the gay community, the feminists, the tom girl, and so on and so forth. Anyway, the tomboy and so on and so forth. Anyway, we look at Horus again. Haru is another variation. Hurry, hurry A, hurry alpha. Hero, okay. Arrow, air A, and her A, meaning this is the guy who's meant to be with her. It's right there in the wordplay. America's the new Egypt, where they live by the principles of evil, like Set. Okay, and of course the whole world rolls with it. You know, the whole world has gone astray, not just America. So the sun, right, is also an arrow in its own right. It's saying this is the quality the hero has. He rises in his majesty, in his natural splendor, not technology-based bitch shit. That's IT. Again, the T is the feminine suffix. You say, look at my car, look at my house. This is technology. You say, look at my gun, technology. That's the feminine suffix. It doesn't matter how big of a boom your gun makes. Okay, and of course, Horus is the falcon. Full kin, God, fully a son of God, no mixing evil, and his martial arts style as the archetype of Pharaoh, which is the archetype of the ideal man in the top martial arts, is the tall Pharaoh. Look at the Narmer path, striking down like a hawk. Whoosh! Okay? These guys who are smaller have trouble doing that. Whoosh! Ah! He's like trying to block. He might block a few strikes and pow! And eventually he gets him with a surgical strike. Surgical. So remember, brilliant, moral warrior, surgical strikes. Martial meaning to order, to arrange. Who orders? The Pharaoh. Who arranges things? The Pharaoh. Okay, the fair O or the fair A, the fair alpha. No ill-gotten gains. It's right there in the word. And no Western twist. They love to put double meanings into words. Okay, where they say fair means white, But to the Luciferian moon temple person, it means white. To the righteous man, they're only concerned with it being fair. All right. So speaking of that, that's also the problem the European faces. All throughout history, he did not even have weapons that were martial art weapons. He would use daggers, broadswords, claymores, axes, clubs, things for brute force. Set is also a deity of brute force and foreigners. He's foreign to Egypt. When the whites come to Egypt, it's the foreign period, and these are the guys that live right there on the Mediterranean, across the Mediterranean, the southern Mediterranean basin of Europe. Okay, so their spears were longer. Look at the Greek spears. They're like long spears. They're metal or whatever. Okay, they're not these short Zulu spears for surgical striking. They're not these African guys striking surgically. They're these guys with this long kind of road attack. We're striking with spears. It was the Africans doing the tati, get to the truth and the bottom of something using the stick. Why weren't they doing it? Because their brute force using the stick is not the same thing as surgically outmaneuvering your opponent and finding different ways to outmaneuver and strike them and prove your point that I have more mental clarity, which goes back to brain function, the amygdala, emotions, memory, and decision making, the striatum, learning, inhibition, and reward processing, the thalamus, processing and relaying sensory information to other parts of the brain, gray matter, focus tasks, white matter, networking grid that connects gray matter and other parts of the processing centers, hippocampus, memory, spatial awareness, and so on and so forth, cerebellum, and so on and so forth. The different parts of the brain function. His brain is functioning better than yours, and he comes from a long line of righteousness. Even the Bible says the throne is established with righteousness. Kings detest that wrongdoing because the throne is established with righteousness. Not only do they not come from a long line of people who did the wrong thing, like the colonists, he comes from a long line of people who detest people that do the wrong thing and would never take credit they don't deserve, much less every generation pretend they're superior like white people have. This is not racist. These are just the facts. You reap what you sow, and you shouldn't be able to say, hey, that's racist. You can't say that when it's true. And do the same thing for blacks quite often, and so on and so forth. Anyway. So, of course, when somebody is in a gay spirit, a feminist spirit, a clown circus, look at me, I can break bricks, and acting like a bitch, a showbiz bitch, and not putting the emphasis on sparring, which Master Heel Cho, 8th, 9th degree, something like that, black belt in Taekwondo, one of the most famous guys of his time, the most published person of his time at least, maybe perhaps still, he said, how can you know what a true martial art is without an emphasis on sparring? Okay? Obviously, I agree. Okay? It doesn't take a fucking genius to see that showbiz is bitch. Spar it, spirit, the spear. Which spear? The long European Greek long spear, with some kind of gay guy holding it? Or the surgical masculine energy of the African warrior holding the spear and saying, I'm going to stick you. Right. Spear fishing and so on and so forth. Jesus, the fisherman, the great fisherman, Horus, and so on and so forth. All right. So, the circus clown, the gay guy, people who aren't serious, the American conformist, oh, that's cool, bro. Oh, cool, dude. These guys aren't the serious spirit of martial arts, right? Which starts in the source of humanity on the earth, right? Africa. So you go to the source and the animating force are connected. So that should pretty much cover the main points of the pure moral martial art principles. Foundation, right? Foundation. Found at Ion, which is another name for Ionu or Heliopolis. Ra's call center. Horse is also remove the H, the fence, A-Ra. That's them doing the wordplay. It's the Greek word. They wanted to fence the A-Ra so that the moon temple, homosexuals, lunatics, lunar cycle type motherfuckers, Looney Tunes could be seen as superior. I'm Daffy Duck. I'm Bugs Bunny. I'm Donald Duck. I'm Goofy. I'm Mickey Mouse. And that's how these people act. They act like some goofy-ass, motherfucking, weirdo-ass motherfuckers, okay? They don't care about moral intelligence, moral will, moral precision, moral clarity, moral maturity, moral toughness. They don't care about the true moral warrior spirit of God, that Nimrod was a mighty warrior before God. Going back to the Bible, Exodus 3, Exodus 15:3, Isaiah 11:5, Ephesians 6:14, and so on and so forth.